Beloved heart, I invite you to sign up to my mailing list, and as a result of signing up, you will get a free gift. It's a 5D rebalance tune up of all the chakras, and chakras are my specialty. So I would love to gift you with this transmission that is filled with light language and codes to help you stay balanced and tuned up during these increased frequencies of energy of this ascension, this new earth frequency. So check out the links in the notes of this show, and I look forward to connecting with you. I am sending you love. This is the transfiguration of the new you. Hello, beloved hearts. I'm Monica Bermudez, the host for the podcast, The Ascended Earth, the Transfiguration of the New Human. Welcome back to another episode. This episode is called The Ascended Twin Flame Transmission Series, Part 4, Catalyst Twin Flame. And it's a term that I was just feeling the energy around this. It's associated to the false twin flame, but I was also getting the term the dark twin flame. So we're going to dive into some of the shadow aspects in relation to this and the whole term about catalyst and why, it's such a catalyst. So diving into like the dark feminine and also the dark masculine energies and go over some of those traits, and then diving into the aspect of the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine, which I've talked in previous episodes as well, of the sacred feminine, the sacred masculine energy. So all of these complement one another. This message is coming more at a collective level. So it's not just a romantic relationship type thing or love life. This is more of us going through our collectiveness right now in relation to the twin flame energy, because as I've said in previous episodes, the twin flame energy is in all of us. It is how we align ourselves to the sacred feminine, the sacred masculine energy. And it's also associated to our shadow aspect as well. Our shadow aspect is a big part of us on the surface here on this earth, especially to get us moving forward. And so if you look up the definition of a catalyst is a person or event that quickly causes change or action. And so a lot of changes are occurring right now on this planet because of these major eclipse energy season. And so the eclipse to me is like a twin flame energy, because you have the moon and the sun in union. If you look at a lot of alchemical images from the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, a lot of alchemists would be undercover, let's just say, like they will hide a lot of the information through a lot of their images, because during that time we couldn't, and I say we because some of us were there, during that time as humans. And so we couldn't really display a lot of it because the religions at the time or the way society was structured wouldn't allow any flexibility or openness to anything else other than their information. So it was, that's why they call it the dark period, because it was just very hard to, a lot of challenges, a lot of trauma, a lot of persecution, for being a wizard, being an alchemist. So, that is the nature of the duality of finding ourselves with the shadow and the light. So we can't always be too much light or too much shadow. So when you look at the dark feminine energy and the dark masculine energy, there's also a light feminine energy and a light masculine energy. So these are dual in their own way. And so I'm going to explore more of the dark side of the energy, and then also look at some of the light feminine energy as well, and bring it all together from a catalyst, twin flame state of what that means. And as I've shared, in a previous episode about the dark night of the soul, and the dark night of the soul is really a catalyst as well. So we're going through this period of reset and void. And so that's really what happens when we tap into our dark feminine energy and dark masculine energy, and they're not necessarily all all bad. There is, something about like when you go too far into the shadow and you can kind of get lost in that way, but it's really a balancing state of these two states of energies, right? So if we look at the attributes of a dark feminine energy, it has to do more with our passion and our seductive, our authenticity, and our fearless side, powerful, magnetic, and transformational, as well as a lot of creativity. And so, if you look at some examples of the goddess energy, for instance, I think of like Kali, goddess Kali, the Hindu goddess, and also the Egyptian goddess Isis. And I see these energies as being these warrior like. And so they harness that divine feminine energy, but apply it for good means. So, like Goddess Kali, for instance, she's known as the destruction. So, you could consider the side of the dark feminine energy to be the one of destruction, but she's also a rebuilder. So then she also harnesses that energy of the light feminine energy. So there is this fine balance of the two. So we can look at it as the yin yang of the two, as I talked in a previous episode about that too. And so the light feminine energies attribute to the traits of nurturing, intuitive, compassionate, receptive, forgiving, empathetic, and graceful. So, in combination of these two energies, they form the sacred feminine energy. So, what really is, the catalyst is to really drive us to be in our whole state of our own union within ourselves, of harnessing these energies. And so that's really what's going on right now with the eclipse season, of creating these catalyst changes within ourselves as we tap more into our passions. And in that, not being afraid to face, some of those powerful aspects of yourself as well, and embracing who you truly are in the divine source. And so for me, the sacred feminine energy is more in alignment with the divinity, but it still harnesses these two energies of the dark and the light feminine energy. And so they are alchemizing. So catalyst can also be another term for alchemy. It's spiritual alchemy. It's emotional alchemy or mental alchemy in all aspects within ourselves. So as we build ourselves, in each one of these different phases, and thinking about these different attributes, we can, relate to some of these and how, we can use it for the greater good of, the highest vibrational timeline for ourselves and also for others. So, those are, some very important key takeaways from that, those traits for each one of those. So, some of the traits of the dark masculine energy is to be raw, unfiltered masculine energy associated with like the ambition, the drive, the assertiveness, the resilience, and the self confidence, the willingness to conquer one's intentions, and having these fearless pursuits of your own soul's desires, or what sets your soul on fire. The light masculine energy traits is about being a protector, endorsing strength, and honoring and duty. So when we create, the sacred masculine energy, we are harnessing a lot of these, because as the masculine energy is also a protector for the sacred feminine energy, it's also building these other foundations to allow the sacred feminine energy to be an expression of the as being, highly intuitive in connection to the higher source, cosmic connection, which is your higher self. And so allowing a place of comfort and safety to be able to express that divine voice on the surface of the earth. And so really just having that self-confidence, right? So it's really like the self-confidence as well. So in a way, though, they kind of relate to this of the dark feminine energy as well. So these, tapping into these are, catalyst type energies that help us in our way of like uniting more of our sacred feminine and our sacred masculine energy. Now, as I've said in previous episodes, we harness both of these energies. Doesn't matter if you're male or female. We have divine masculine. We have, divine feminine energy within ourselves. And sometimes we may feel like it's too much in some of those areas. But that's where, you come in with trying to notice, where that fine balance is. And as I've talked in previous episodes where I talk about the balancing of the shadow and the light, and it's really just being aware of when you feel that something is out of alignment in that area. So as as I've said, as it's been talked about, the catalyst is in relation to the false twin flame, in other words. And I myself personally have experienced that, in relationships or romantic relationships. So they do serve as a catalyst as well to really help you, on your path of greater, deeper awakening as well, because that's really what these are also. And so a catalyst, twin flame feels like it is your actual twin flame, like it is your actual union. But really they are there to help push you. And usually they come when there is a soul contract agreement with each other before incarnating to help get that deeper, greater awakening. And so that's what happened to me. So after the divorce, I ran into my catalyst twin flame, but it actually helped me to really dive deep into my own being and resurface other abilities, and also really tap into more of my own heart wholeness and my own divine feminine and divine masculine wholeness as well. And it all started within the heart center. And so what this does also is build and expand on your perception and your discernment. So it makes you much wiser. Doesn't mean you know everything, but it makes you much wiser in knowing, feeling more of the energies within yourself and feeling when one is more than the other, and being able to reconnect yourself and put yourself back into that wholeness and working in unison with your own twin flame energy within yourself, with the dark feminine energy, the dark masculine energy, and the light feminine and the light masculine energy. So, in other words, your sacred feminine and your sacred masculine energy within yourself. And all of these complement the sacred temple that you are, which is a previous episode where I also talk about the sacred temple transmission. And so the shadow is really like this catalyst for you. It's a catalyst, twin flame for you to be on your path of your own soul alignment. And so it also serves as a guide and activation, a trigger to be more in touch, more in tune with your higher self. So just sharing another aspect, another perspective on all of this information about it. So I will catch you in another episode and see you on the new earth, and hope you take away from this, an understanding of more of yourself at an energetic level as we step into these new earth frequencies and our ascension and the 5D light codes. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to click like, save and share with others so they can also experience what you just experienced. And stay tuned for some more high vibe episodes. And I'll be connecting with you in the next quantum field. Sending you so much love.